Via Vikas brings you another timeless trailblazer who has become a vehicle of change and hope for lakhs of underprivileged women. Dr. Kala Charlu is a dedicated social welfare advocate and the founder of Me Too Foundation. Her commitment to community service began very early with volunteer work in eye camps and assisting NGOs in slum areas. A tragic twist in her life profoundly influenced her mission to empower underprivileged women. In 2009, Dr. Charlu established the Me Too Foundation. The organization focuses on enhancing menstrual hygiene management and creating income generating opportunities for women through upcycling initiatives. She is fondly called Period Party. Dr. Charlu's unwavering belief in the transformative power of information and education continues to drive her efforts to uplift and educate women across various communities. Let's hear about this inspiring journey from Dr. Kala. Welcome, Kala, and thank you for joining us to share your story.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's start at the very beginning. How did you start Me Too Foundation?
Yeah, as you told everyone, there was a big tragedy in my life. My young daughter, who was just 26 years old, she died in an accident. It completely devastated me. And for almost 4 years, I didn't do anything. I was just immersed in grief. So then a time came, and I said, okay, there's something that I should do. Why not do something? Because my own daughter who died, she was already into a lot of social activities. She had worked with some prostitutes in Tirupati. She had worked with, uh, this upcycling already. She wanted to
Okay.
stop. Yeah, she went to Brigade Road and other places and tried to stop plastic bags in 2009.
Wow.
So I thought, why not carry this forward and make it big. So
Okay.
yeah, and my father also influenced me a lot. He's a
Mhm.
psychiatrist.
Okay.
And yeah, he died when he was almost 99 years old. And then he told me, Me Too is not just one person. I mean, my daughter's full name is Maitri Charlu, but at home we would call her Me Too. And my other daughter, Mridula, she coined the word Me Too, stands for multiple initiatives towards upliftment. It's a broad word. And yeah, multiple initiatives, upliftment, that's what I was looking for. And I found that this upcycling and menstrual hygiene came in the at the right time and brought the right picture. So I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, it's a topic not many people talk about. So how did you get into that and what has been
Yeah.
your journey?
It was very awkward. In the beginning. Like people would tell, I would meet people only in different functions, events. So if I couldn't talk, say I've gone for a Griha Pravesham or Namakarna, and I can't suddenly say, "What work are you doing, Kala?" I can't say, "I'm working on periods." They would say, "Shh, don't talk about it here." That much of silence was there behind periods. So somehow I said, well, it's a natural thing. Nothing. It's not a big phenomena. Every single woman has a period, but why there is a silence? So I decided to break the silence, and then there was a lot of unhygienic habits. Actually, I saw a TV interview, by one gentleman called Anshu Gupta. Uh, yeah, he's running a foundation called Goonj. So he talked about the statistics at that time in 2009. It was pathetic. People were using mud, they were using
Okay.
ash, newspaper. They didn't know how exactly to protect themselves. Dirty rags. So and then he said 88% of the people are using all this. Only 12% know how to use proper protection. That's when I said, why not take this up in a big way?
Yeah, I think now in schools, at least in urban areas, we talk about it quite freely, and we have counselors. But still, I'm sure there are many areas where this is still where students and children don't get help. They don't know what to
That's
expect also.
no. Now the latest survey, what it says is that
Mm.
uh, this one, the government of India has managed to give lot of pads and brought lot of awareness. But what they found now is that 65% of the girls, they before menarche, before the start of the period, the pre-puberty girls,
Mhm.
they don't know about periods. Neither the teacher tells them. They are in class 4 or 5 these days. Neither the teacher tells them nor the
Yes,
mother. Sometimes a sibling may tell her, but I thought, why not take it up in a big way? So I'm launching a new project called Kumari to Nari. I thought that that would really help, because that is the need analysis. So why not do pigtails to periods or something like that? Tell a girl, look, in a
yes.
few months you're going to have your first period. Be ready. Get to know everything about it. What is a period? What exactly happens to your body? Why not know everything openly instead of going to social media and getting all wrong information?
I know,
So
I know.
yeah, I want them to straight away learn sustainable menstruation.
Oh,
Why not give a young girl who is having a period for the first time, give her a cloth pad which is
yes,
sustainable. I mean, at least let's save the planet and make
yes.
sure that there is less damage to the land. You know, yeah, that was the whole plan. I'm planning to
Okay,
start that
okay.
now. Yeah, Women's
So
Day.
you'll be reaching out to schools?
Yeah, I'm planning to go to class 4 and 5 only now. Apart
Yes,
from, I mean, all other programs are going on. We have some deep interventions, we have some, awareness sessions, 40-minute to 1 hour awareness sessions, deep interventions where we go to a village, stay with them for 4 to 5 months, and, make sure that there is some transformation, talking about cups, everything.
so generally, we tell, I don't know, but we tell them not to use cloth and to use sanitary pads. So
Mm,
it's not sustainable.
yeah, I
Environmentally,
I agree with you. Even I was saying, I mean, like when I started in 2009, all the gynecologists also told me, this terrible thing about cloth. What we didn't realize then was not the cloth. The women didn't wash it properly, nor did they dry it in the sun. The detergents weren't there, stain removers weren't there. And then they were scared to dry it out in the sun. Plus, they didn't know where to keep it. For 1 month, it would just hang out, pushed behind a cupboard or something. There was so much of secrecy, right? So now I tell them, look, don't you wear a cotton underwear throughout the year? You wash it and wear it again. Similarly, go ahead and wash a nice new cloth. Don't take a foot rug or some kitchen
yes.
towel or something. Take a brand new designer pads now. There are
Hmm.
designer pads available. Yeah.
Can you share some success stories that have touched you? I mean, in the course of your work, or
Yeah.
some story that has deeply impacted you.
Yeah, a lot of success stories. There are many girls who have really it's helped. In the beginning, I had a lot of problems, like headmasters would not let me donate pads. They would feel very embarrassed. They would say, Madam, books ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ shoes ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೊಡಿ. As if, giving shoes was okay. Shoes ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೊಡಿ, madam, sanitary pad ಬೇಡ, you know. I would say, what is wrong? I mean, let me talk to them about it.
Yes.
So that is stopped. That is a success story. Now everyone is very happy they invite me. Second
Okay.
thing is, yeah, this menstrual sustainable menstruation. All those who are into eco-friendly products and they want to, you know, bring in the circular economy, they are ready. So I'm happy that, and cups
Yes.
is also another big surprise. Some villagers have accepted cups. They feel that,
Okay, that's good.
yeah, some only, it's still very few. Let's be honest.
Yes. Um, what are the biggest challenges you have faced as a, running a charitable trust?
Yeah, everyone will say money. I'll also say funding. Fundraising was a bit tough in the beginning. So that's when I decided to, how long will I go on begging for donations, you know? Instead, I said, let me make it into a social enterprise. That's when, like, I started. I got lot of donations of cloth, all kinds of cloth.
Mhm.
Cloth, cotton cloth, which is absorbent, I was using for making sanitary pads. The other bits, polyester saris, uh, pants, shirts. I decided to make bags out of it. So
Okay.
then I said, why not, sell them or promote them in such a way that there are some sponsors. So I started that, and yeah, now I'm getting enough funds, whatever the proceeds from the sale goes for menstrual hygiene management.
Great.
Yeah.
And how do you envision Me Too Foundation in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, we are all in a kind of a, you know, what exactly do you call it? We are neither here nor there. We want, like, burning a pad is bad, burying a pad is bad, and throwing it in the landfill is, according to me, the worst possible thing that you can do, because it takes 800 years to, decompose. And now in everybody wants use and throw concept, but there's not a single pad manufactured in the world which is compostable and at the same time use and throw. That's what we are looking for, but it's not possible. So after all, it's a liquid, and the discharges are liquids, and you need some waterproof material. So that's
Yes.
a big challenge. So the alternative is cloth or menstrual cup. Menstrual cup, is there's a lot of resistance. We are hoping that the resistance will go away slowly.
Yes.
Tampons are okay in Western country. Insertion, there is a big difference between using a pad for absorption and a tampon or a cup for insertion to collect the liquid. So that's the problem I find. Incineration also, there are some new techniques which are coming up, but still some poisonous gases are released. So we are at a kind of a place where dilemma, kind of a dilemma.
What kind of support are you getting from the government of India?
Government is doing a great job, and they're doing very well with Suchi pads, which is but non-biodegradable. You know, the girls are, at least they are, their health is little better, their hygiene is good. So you're solving one problem and creating another. So I'm wondering how to go about it. It's very good idea to give them pads. Yeah, but what do we do about disposal? So I'm very happy. I'm not able to do much with the government yet, but with all the publicity that I have received, I'm able to get some corporate social response CSR funding. Yeah, that is very effective, because there is a thorough control on the funds. They give us very good amount of funds. We give a proposal, we implement it, and then we utilize all the money. So there is end of the year, now it's coming. End of March, we give a report, we give an impact report and a utilization report, and all the money is gone, and we restart again the next year.
That's
Yeah.
great. So, along with the educating students, what about the parents, where most of the uh, taboos and the things are there? Do you also reach out to
Yeah.
grown-ups?
Actually, mother is the first teacher, right? So we always want to talk to the mother first, especially when we are talking about something new, something unusual, innovative. Then they would want to know about this. So this International Women's Day, we are planning to call a group of students, class 4 and 5. I'm
Okay.
expecting 9-year olds actually. 9-year olds are nowadays getting their period.
Yes.
9 and 10-year-old girls, we are calling them with their parents. And we are giving them a kit which is a sustainable kit. We are not giving them cups, they're too young. We're giving them cloth pads, and I want them to use a cloth pad and start liking it right from the beginning. If you give them a taste of it, they may like it very much and continue to use it. Yeah, that feeling they have, oh, I have to wash, you're washing all your clothes, you're washing your uniform. Why don't you wash your underwear and then a pad also? It's nothing great. It's
Yes.
not very difficult. So planning to involve the mothers, and this another project we have is called Project Spotlight, and also another one is called Me Too Hedge. Over there, we are talking to and period with pride. We have some 4 or 5 different interventions. So that is all to do with women in the community. I find it difficult to gather women in a community. We get small groups, whatever it is, whatever number of people we get through these self-help groups or somehow. Sometimes we have held some sessions in temples also. We take our
Okay.
laptop, yeah. We've been so lucky. The priest will say, yes, madam, go ahead, talk about periods. It's but natural. And we've kept the laptop on the hundi. And yeah, we've shown them some videos about how natural periods, how to take care, how to maintain cleanliness, how to avoid anemia, all that we talk about. And myths and taboos, that is a little difficult. So our plan is not to say, hey, do this, hey, don't do this. It'll never work. So what we do is make them think what your grandmother told you. Well, now why
Mhm.
don't you think and see why she said it? What is today's world? What is grandmother's world? And somehow, make them understand that these
Yeah.
myths and taboos are, we don't even use that word. ಮೂಢನಂಬಿಕೆನೂ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, you know,
Yes.
the word ನಂಬಿಕೆಗಳು we say, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪದ್ಧತಿಗಳು ನಂಬಿಕೆಗಳು we say. Think about it and then make the change.
And you're fondly called period party. So, how do you feel about that?
Look at my hair. I look like a typical party, right? So my granddaughter said, it kind of rhymes very well with period party. Then some young girls from who come to us as interns, they made some animated picture. They made the picture resemble me, and we tried to, interest girls in social media. So we said, okay, period party.
That's nice. Right.
Mm,
Coming to a more personal note, like many people struggle with loss and grief. I mean, it's a natural part of life. You have also gone through a terrible loss. What advice would you give to those looking to find purpose after adversity? How did you come out of it? And How would
Yeah.
you advise others?
Yeah, what I want to tell is that losing a child is something that you can never get over. Never. They say nirantaram, na. There is no way that the grief will go. We have to learn to handle and cope with it. So it doesn't even heal with time. We think, yeah. Some people say, wait, it will heal, but time will only numb it. And so I feel that healing has to be with an intention. What they say, Sankalpa, you have to take an intention in your own mind that I'll convert or transform this grief into something more active. Grief is something of my own, isn't it? I am feeling it. Somebody who is looking at my face won't know how sad I am or what is exactly going on in my mind. So I suggest to people, look, take a sankalpa that one intention that um, you will transform people maybe around you. So I wrote down something
Yeah.
here. You are leading your life or you're letting it lead you. What choose? What is it that you want to do? Do you want something else to lead you or do you want to lead your own life?
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's a lovely thought. And I think it's a great inspiration to all our members watching who are going to be watching this video. And I'm sure lots of lessons, lots of inspiration from talking to you. Thank you so much, Dr. Charlu. And it was a pleasure talking to you. And thank you for sharing your journey and, your personal stories. And I'm really impressed with the work you do. And, you know, I'm sure your work is making a lot of difference to lakhs of people. We
Yeah,
wish you
it
more
just
and more strength
happens.
in all your endeavors.
Yeah, I think if you just go on doing it, focus on one thing, it'll happen on its own. It's not really nothing much I'm doing, I feel. So I want to tell all the
Oh,
ladies, just do, just keep on doing. Don't sit, waste time.
that's true. And one more last question. What is your take on aging?
Aging. Yeah, aging, I don't know. The hair grows gray, face gets wrinkled maybe, but the here it remains the same. The damn brain continues to feel as if you're young. My laughter is still just the same, I suppose. So I don't know. It's only the others who feel that you have aged when they look at your physical appearance. But deep inside, it doesn't really matter. Continue to be yourself, and there has to be some sense of humor and some foolishness inside you, which will make you feel young, maybe.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. And let's hope we meet sometime soon.
Yes, let's hope so too.